Good morning, Washington. How y'all doing on all the ships at sea? It's Dave TV for the 27th of September 2012. And guess what? I'm not wearing camo today. At least not yet. This is my sleeping attire. Actually, I never wear the shirt when I sleep. I just hate sleeping in a shirt, but I need to dress up a little bit for these Dave TVs. Today's Washington Post. Loudon officials, nonprofit, sued over anti-gay mailing. He's a Republican, baby! And so it's not covered on WMAL this morning. If this guy was a Democrat, this would be all over WMAL this morning. And also, this news here. Obama has an edge in ad rates. Washington Post front page. Again, is this story on WMAL this morning? No, because it's not flattering to Republicans. I really think WMAL gets they get a kind of a list from the Heritage Foundation of approved topics. It's kind of the Politburo of the conservative movement there. So anyhow, how you doing, everybody? It's Thursday. Another week almost gone. I do a lot of talking here about Washington radio ratings, and this morning we're going to focus a little bit on the Baltimore numbers, which is funny. When you do the Washington radio ratings, you don't, the two markets are only 35 miles apart. Baltimore and D.C. are 35 miles apart, so there's a lot of overlap. And here in Northern Virginia, which is a good 50 miles from Baltimore, we can get a number of Baltimore stations pretty good on the FM dial. We can get WBJC 91.5 classical. We get 98 rock really well on 97.9. We get QSR, Jack, adult hits on 102.7. A whole bunch of Baltimore stations, not all of them, but we can get a good number of them. We get BAL, radio AM during the day. And then you've got a lot of Montgomery County and Prince George's County that are very close to Baltimore. They can get even more, and vice versa. So there's a lot of intermarket listening. Okay, it's not so much television anymore, because in the olden days, you used to be able to put up an antenna and pretty much get all the stations from Baltimore and Washington. Now with digital, it's a much more complicated thing. In the olden days, early 90s, if you had cable TV in the Washington area, you got all the Baltimore channels. That is not the truth. That doesn't happen anymore. Now, if you live in Montgomery, Prince George's, Fairfax, D.C., whatever, you just get the D.C. stations. I believe there's some Maryland cable systems, Anne Arundel, Howard, that also bring in a couple of the D.C. signals, but they're not offered in HD. They're kind of offering a standard def tier there. But anyhow, so what are we doing? We're looking at Baltimore radio ratings, okay, and some trends. And what are we seeing? Okay, number one in Baltimore right now is WERQ, okay? That's Q92 or 92Q or whatever they want to say, Radio 1's Urban Contemporary. And they're trending up. They were fourth about a month or two ago, and now they're first, back to first again. POC, Clear Channel's Country, second place. They're either second or first almost every week, one or two. So they're pretty much staying flat. Magic 95.9, urban adult contemporary from Radio 1, Tom Joyner in the mornings, WWIN FM. They are trending down just ever so slightly, but they're either in first, second, or third place, so they kind of just bounce around the top of the thing, so they're often in first place. So those three stations, ERQ, POC, WWIN, they're all pretty much, they just keep changing places. First, second, third. One's first, but they just keep moving around, but they're always at the top. Ditto with WLIF, CBS's Light 102, Adult Contemporary. They're pretty much locked in either third or fourth place every week. There's not a lot of changes there. Mix 106.5, CBS's Hot Adult Contemporary Mix. There is pretty much locked into fifth place, just about fifth place every week. Here's an interesting upswing. Contemporary Christian WRBS, Shine 95.1 is seeing a nice uptrend. And I'm also seeing a nice uptrend here in Washington for its like formatted station, WGTS 91.9. A rather big uptrend for these two Christian contemporary stations. So that format seems to be doing very well lately. RBS was 10th place, FM, 10th place a month ago, and now they're up to 6th place. So they're doing quite well. WBAL AM News Talk from Hearst, kind of soft. They're pretty much 7th, 8th, 6th place. Not a lot of movement. Interesting to see what happens when Bryan Nehman replaces Dave Durian. Dave Durian does well in mornings. I mean, he's usually first, second, third place in mornings. The rest of the station's programming kind of trends down a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. But BAL sure needs to get on an FM stick, I think, to get better ratings. AM just doesn't quite cut it. 8th place, Z104.3 Clear Channel's top hits. WZFT, they're they're 6th, 7th, 8th place, but they're holding pretty much steady. WIYY, Active Rocker, they're from Hearst, 8th or 9th place. Either for the last couple months, it's either 8th or 9th place for them. CBM News Talk, 680 is staying pretty stable at either 12th to 10th place. These stations, I'm not seeing, other than RBS there on the top of the Baltimore, other than RBS's upward movement, all the other stations at the top of the Baltimore radio ratings are pretty much staying steady. There's not a lot of change there. Classic Rock, WZBA, 11th, 12th place, staying steady. News Talker, Public Radio News Talker, WYPR 88.1, trending down a tad from 9th a month ago to 12th. JZFM 105.7, the Fan, CBS there, seem to be trending up a little bit now that we're getting into football season. They were 15th a month ago, now they're 13th. QSR, Adult Hits is 14th, 13th place. Gospel WCAO is, between 11th and 15th. They're now 15th. Here's the interesting thing. The top-rated Washington radio station in Baltimore, WTOP, 16th place this week in the radio ratings, and they trend 15th, 14th, 17th, 16th. Now, the interesting thing about that is this new CBS Newser, WNEW, actually has a better signal into Baltimore. They actually have their transmitter in Anne Arundel County, which is part of the Baltimore Metro, and yet WTOP is beating the pants off of them in Baltimore with a signal. 103.5 is their main signal, and it gets into Baltimore, but it clashes up there in the northeastern suburbs of Baltimore with 103.7 up there in Havre de Grace or Harford County, they're the country WXCY. So, even with a better signal, WNEW is really not doing as well. In fact, what is WNEW? I'm looking down here. Where is WNEW in the ratings in, Jesus, I don't even see them. Where did they go? I'm looking for we're doing a search here for WNEW. Let's run through this thing. Okay, we got BJC at 17th place with classical in Baltimore, and then we got a batch of DC stations. Okay, we got HUR at 18th, DC 101 at 19th, PGC at 20th. Again, another reason why PGC might be better if they moved it onto 99.1, better coverage into Baltimore, because PGC is often in the Baltimore top 20. KYS at 21st, WASH at 22nd, WMGQ at 23rd, El Zal at 24th, WRQX at 25th. Look at these. These are all DC stations in the ratings. So once you get past about 15th, 17th place in the Baltimore numbers, you start to get all the DC stations coming in. There's an awful lot of that DC radio penetration in the market. WAMU, 25th place. WPRS, 27th place. These are all DC stations. And then you get XCY, the station we were talking about there, 103.7 Country out of Harford County. They're at 28th place. Kind of trending upward a tad, perhaps. Hot 99.5 is at 28th place. A big tie for 28th. You got FRE, big. You got, WEAA Jazz. That's a Baltimore station. They're at 32nd. Okay, here we are. WNEW, 32nd place. And they are trending a little bit up in Baltimore. They were 38th a month ago, and then they rose as high as 28th a week ago, back down to 32nd. So, they're getting probably about the same penetration in the Baltimore market that you're getting in the Washington market, although you think they would be doing better because they got a better signal, but who knows. WOLB at 35th place. They're the Radio 1 urban talker there. And WMAL actually gets into Baltimore at 35th place. TMD, Towson's WTMD, 37th place. They're trending down. Look at that. They were 26th a month ago. went to 32nd, 32nd, 34th, 33rd, 32nd, down to 37th. Interesting. WJZ AM 1300, which is that ESPN sports station, which is going to be flipping over to CBS Sports, is 37th place. HFS 97.5, which just got yanked out of the DC market, is 37th place there on that 97.5 signal. So there. WRNR 42nd place, adult alternative there on 103.1. And so there. So anyhow, what do you say? That's the Baltimore trends. I'm not seeing a lot of big trends in the Baltimore market right now, other than a rise of Shine 95.1. The other Baltimore market stations are pretty much staying the same, but it is interesting to see how many Washington area. There's a lot more people in Baltimore listening to Washington radio than there are people in Washington listening to Baltimore radio. Go figure. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for today. Anything else? No? Well, hey. Good day yesterday. No Betsy Rothstein over there on Fishbowl, D.C. Rumors, is she going to be a goner? Or maybe she just has a sore throat? I don't know. But I do think that the Media Bistro needs to make some changes over there. That site is just, it's anemic. Anemic! 15th anniversary, Dave TV. 15th anniversary of DCRTV this month. Don't forget, we're still offering our $15. That's another one. $15 access to DCRTV Plus. It's only for a couple more days. As of October 1, it will never be back. That rate will never be as low. So sign up right now. You can extend. If you've already got a subscription to DCRTV Plus, you can extend it. Even if your extension currently goes into 2013 or something, you can extend it into 2014 or 2015. $15 for a year, $30 for 2, $45 for 3. But you better do it before October 1 because that deal will never be back. It's ending. As our 15th anniversary celebration ends, that deal ends and will never be back. Okay. I should be a used car salesman. Remember those old used car salesmen? Midnight in the old days on Washington television, at 3 in the morning, the guy would come on and, this baby beauty here, $7.99. It's been only driven by an old lady that lived in Wheaton. Thanks for watching Dave TV. I wanted to say, I was over at Barnes & Noble yesterday, and one of my DCR TV fans, are you DCR TV? You have that blog, don't you? I said, yes. And he punched me in the face. He said, I hate you. Quit being so mean to Brian Wilson. One more day for Bryan Nehman on MAL, perhaps, and we shall see what happens to him. Heading up to Baltimore. That's a big drop in market size for Bryan, Bryan Nehman going from, the 8th largest radio market? What's Baltimore, like 22nd or something? Okay, that's the way to go. Thanks for watching Dave TV here on DCR TV, and live long and prosper.